today, it's 35 years since an accident that changed the world. In 1986, the Chernobyl nuclear power station in Ukraine exploded. The world is still feeling the effects of what happened today. At the time, Ukraine was part of the Soviet Union, made up of Russia and other nearby countries. The Soviet Union was a communist state and liked to say that it was more powerful and had better technology than other countries like the USA and Britain. The Chernobyl disaster showed the truth that the country had many problems. Just 5 years after the accident, the Soviet Union was no more. But the biggest effects were on the people. The explosion threw dangerous radiation into the air that travelled as far away as here in the UK. For people who lived around the power plant, their lives changed forever. They had to leave their homes and their city and never go back. The city still lies empty. One of those people was Olena, who was 13 at the time of the disaster. This is her story.
If I tell how I lived over the last 35 years, I've lived the way that I didn't forget Pripyat. It may be a dead city or a ghost city for the whole world, but my Pripyat is alive. My memories about it are alive in my heart. You know, I often say my city was growing together with me. Pripyat was born in 1970 and I was born in 1973, and Pripyat was growing in front of my eyes. It was a wonderful childhood, and I'm very sorry that today Pripyat is remembered for devotion to communism. The opinion and propaganda was there was no better country in the world than the Soviet Union. There was even a song popular at that time, that we were so lucky to be born in the Soviet Union. But my father would always reveal the truth to me. My father worked at the construction of the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. He was worried that such a high-technology facility, built so fast, may lead to some consequences. I remembered that night, some noise like rolling thunder. I woke up in the morning and asked my mother, "Was there a thunderstorm at night?" And she said, "No, look how bright the sun is. It's great weather, there was no thunderstorm." Saturday was market day in Pripyat, so my mother went to that market that morning. But she came back quite soon and looked worried and upset. My father said to my mother, "Anya, please get the documents ready. There might be an evacuation." So then my eyes got wide. I thought, "What do you mean evacuation?" My dad said, "Some explosion. No one knows anything yet. This is a serious matter. There might be radiation in the air." Saturday was a school day. I had a class in the afternoon. They gave us pills with iodine and said to take them and to stay at home for a couple of days. For me, it was nonsense to take any pills. Nothing hurts, nothing aches, but they give you a pill to take. So I went to the city center with my classmates. People are walking around, birds are singing. So it was not possible to think of it as the beginning of an end. My friends and I used a fire ladder to climb to the 16th floor of a building in the center of Pripyat. That's when I saw the reactor and a ray of light, not fire, but a kind of blue and red ray of light. For me, it seemed like it was reaching the sky, and I got really scared. I was petrified. It was the view of something apocalyptic. After that, the word evacuation didn't seem so surprising.
Внимание, внимание! Уважаемые товарищи!
On 27th April, probably around 10 a.m., we heard that announcement on the radio that there will be a temporary evacuation. When we got on the bus for evacuation, we thought it was for 3 days. So there was not a single moment of panic or fear. Only my father's face. Basically, for 2 days, he could not talk or say anything. He was so depressed and worried. 5 days later, he returned to Pripyat to liquidate the consequences of the disaster, and he received such a big dose of radiation. I don't like talking about it a lot, but we saw the effects of the Chernobyl disaster on our parents. I saw them on my sisters and myself. When the end of August came, I asked my father, "Dad, "When are we coming back to Pripyat?" And he told me that we'd never go back to Pripyat. Pripyat is significant for me, not just a place on the map or a popular tourist destination. We lost the wonderful world that our parents were building. The world of a happy childhood that we were surrounded with. So when you think of Chernobyl, I hope every child will think about my father. Parents who were just employees of the Chernobyl nuclear power plant, who became heroes in the moment. And they died for this, saving this world.
Well, there is loads more about what happened in Chernobyl on the Newsround website, where there's also lots of advice if you've been upset by this or by anything you see in the news.